So, episode 2 of Brown Boys Theory.
Yes, sir.
Hope you guys like the first one.
Should we keep them waiting or should we just get into the conversation?
Dude, let's get into it. I mean, we already kind of talked about us in the last one, so now we can just get straight into the topics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about religion today?
Yeah, we can get into religion first if you want.
Let's do religion, yeah.
So we were already kind of going into a deep conversation about it in the last podcast, especially in the audio portion if you guys checked it out. We were definitely talking about if the culture well, you can fit in easily and you can kind of get a know-how of how to be in the city and the environment.
Yeah.
But for people such as me that don't know the language that well, or kind of still a little bit introverted in that situation, it's a bit hard for me to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I can see that. Just one piece of advice I'd give to anyone for traveling, because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't traveled too much. I've only been to India, but from what my experience in that specific traveling is know where you're going, research before where you're going, and learn a little bit about it so you're not caught off guard.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but also it kind of depends where you are as well, because especially here in South India, I feel it's a bit more introverted as it there in Delhi, where everyone's open and having a good time and enjoying the time that you have with other people there. But in South India, I don't know, for me, my experience with it just doesn't feel real. It feels like people are just saying hi to you because they're there. If they're not there, they don't care about you.
Oh, so from just being very honest here, a lot of these conversations that you have with people, it's not really that's my best friend, I'm gonna talk to him. It's just you're just going there, you're talking to them. A lot of it is so you can build a relationship. A lot of people build these relationships so they can get discounts, or just
just
things off. Exactly, right. So you build a relationship for a reason. Every single relationship you build in life will have a specific reason. Yeah, whether 100%. It's a reason that you enjoy their company, or you want something out of them. That depends on the person. Yeah. But every relationship has a reason, right? Yeah. So maybe what you've experienced is people just don't have really reasons to discuss. Yeah, I mean that could be the case, and it could also be that I guess I'm not as close with them as maybe you might be with people in small shops and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I just get into those conversations where it's hey, how's your day? This and this, how's your family? And then you kind of just end it off there. It's not they actually care about you, or it's have you been anything to have you been doing anything recently and stuff. So I don't know. I just find myself there a lot whenever I travel to India. But I mean also especially when I'm with family, especially on my dad's side with my grandma. Anytime we go there, we're always having a good time. We're watching movies or playing card games and stuff. So it's definitely a fun time to have with your grandparents, for sure. Yeah. That's just so okay. Growing up, I didn't have cable, right? So I never got to see the whole Cartoon Network or Disney spiel. So,
yeah.
Right? So because the cartoons I used to have were on Cubo. If anyone knows what Cubo is, you're a real one, right? So
dang, I forgot what shows were on Cubo. I forgot. I me and my brother used to watch it. I forgot what that show.
Dude, we used to watch He-Man.
He-Man. Oh yeah, yes. Yeah, I remember that one.
He-Man was it growing up.
Yeah, definitely in India. I feel especially in South, there's I forgot what it was, but it was just this guy, and anytime he was eating a sweet, he just got more powerful. I forgot what his name was.
Chota Bean.
Chota Bean. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Anytime you have a laddu, bro, he eats that thing, he just gets stronger. Exactly. For all my American and non-Indian people that are watching this,
check it out.
It's an amazing cartoon for sure. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of the, what's that guy's name? The guy who eats spinach and gets strong.
Popeye.
Popeye, man. Yeah, dude.
All right.
It's kind of that.
You can say that, but we all know Chota Bheem is better.
Facts.
Come on, you can't disrespect our people.
That's facts. Yeah.
No, but so here in America, I didn't have cable or anything, right? So every time I was in India, they had cable. Yeah. Right. So, dude, I would love just watching TV. Yeah, right? 100%. But the thing is, all the shows are in Hindi. right? So I'm watching, Phineas and Ferb, but Phineas and Ferb are speaking to each other in Hindi, right? Yeah. So the jokes are completely different, right? Exactly. The relationship I build with them is so much different.
And the funniest thing is, like, especially the accent with, like, a white person too.
Dude, it's so great. Like, oh my god, Kick Patowski, right?
Bro, I was literally just gonna say Kick Patowski. No, so it's like, Kick Patowski was like in like all languages, so like Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, like so many languages it was in.
Exactly. Yeah. So I used to watch them in Hindi, right? And so what a lot of dubbing artists do is they put their own spin, right? So they'll give Kick Patowski, they'll be speaking Hindi, but it'll have a complete different accent.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, dude, it's the best thing, right?
And also, like, one thing I noticed is, like, they make their voices, like, much deeper than, like, the American version.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, people in school would be reciting, like a quote or something.
Yeah,
be, right? They'd talk about, like, what's another show that we'll just say, like, The Avengers, like the TV version of The Avengers, right? Or like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So something like that. They'd just be reciting a quote, right? The homies at lunch would be reciting a quote, right? And I'm like, I know exactly what they're talking about, right?
Yeah,
but
sure.
I don't remember that quote for some reason. And then I think about it, like, oh, because he was talking in Hindi.
Yeah.
How could I remember that?
No, because even like I remember like one of the TV shows I used to watch, Yu-Gi-Oh. Especially in Japan, it's so much different than the American version because it was much, much darker. Like, there's a lot more violence, other inappropriate stuff, like in the Japanese version. But, like, in the American version, like, all the guns, like, and stuff, they took it off the frame. And, like, any perverted or inappropriate things, they would take it out, too. And it would just be, like, a completely different story. It's not even the exact same thing, so...
Is that where, like, manga comes into play? Like, if you read the manga version of it, you're getting a closer look to the actual reality?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, 100%.
Because I've only read one manga book in my life.
Which one?
It was a Yu-Gi-Oh book.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what it was. But, like, I remember reading, I was like, this isn't what I thought Yu-Gi-Oh was supposed to be.
It's definitely much darker because, especially with Yu-Gi-Oh, like, people, like, if you, like, lose the game, like, the duel, like, you get sent to, like, the Shadow Realm, which is, like, hell, pretty much. So it's definitely a lot darker, especially in the Japanese version, for sure.
Yeah. No, that's so interesting, though. Like, the different levels of, like, guidance.
Yeah, and also, like, the culture plays a big role in that as well.
Definitely. 100%.
Because, like, some things that we may see as, like, inappropriate are not inappropriate in, like, other cultures, and, like, whatever's inappropriate to them isn't, like, necessarily for us. So, yeah, it's a big role for sure.
Like, going on to, like, movies, right?
Oh, wait. Indian movies? Or, like, what are we talking about?
We're talking Bollywood movies right now. All right.
Okay, wait. Like, okay, one, do you like Bollywood movies or not?
I love Bollywood movies.
You love... Bro, I'm so different. I'm so different.
Dude,
there's very few Bollywood movies I like. There's very few. Like, I mean, have you seen Bahubali?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I like that one because of the storyline behind it. But, dude, I swear, like, almost all the other Indian movies, I don't know, but in my opinion, like, the storyline is so same. Like, there's, like, a guy, there's a girl, there's, like, a romance behind it, but then, like, the dad is, like, the bad guy, and then, like, they have some, like, fighting action, and then they're just gone. They're done. They're finished.
Yeah, you haven't tapped in with the real ones then, though, bro.
See, well, but it also depends, like, because, like, a lot of the ones that I used to watch with my parents were, like, Tamil, like, Telugu ones, so that's kind of, like, the way it is for this, but, I mean, for you, I mean, also, like, I like Doom, like, Doom, like, Doom, the Doom series, I like that one, but I feel like it also just depends.
Yeah, so... Okay, here's my thing. Like, I've seen a lot of people that don't speak Hindi watch a lot of Bollywood movies, right?
Yeah, I've seen that too, yeah.
And they're like, they see that the reason you can't understand a lot of it, because if you don't speak the language, you're not going to get the jokes.
Yeah.
Right? Because the subtitles don't give an accurate representation of what the joke is. Yeah. They don't explain, you can't comprehend the joke. Okay, I'll just talk about Hera Fairy, which is, it's a classic. If anyone who knows it knows it.
I haven't seen it, but it's probably like a North Indian film.
It is a North Indian, yeah. So they just basically every single joke in that movie, if you watch on, let's say, Netflix with subtitles and you don't speak the language, you're not going to understand.
Yeah.
Just because what Netflix does is it provides an accurate definition of the word, an accurate translation.
Yeah.
Right. a lot of these are slang terms, right? You can't really give that translation in terms of slang.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it cuts off. That's where like the whole gap is. And that's why I understand why people don't like Bollywood movies or like Indian movies. It's because you guys aren't given the right definition. You guys aren't given the right translation.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just like saying it from like a South Indian point. Like maybe I might just need to start watching more North Indian stuff because maybe there's more like better like humor or like understanding of it.
See, but like the humor, like you don't speak Hindi.
Yeah, no, I don't speak Hindi.
Yeah, but like, so the humor won't
but like
translate.
The thing is, like, I understand like my language, like Tamil. Like I understand like when people are talking, like I understand what they mean. But like obviously I can't speak it, so I can like do it like one way. But like I don't know, especially when it comes to like South Indian movies, like the humor in there, I feel like it's just like it's dry humor. Like especially even for my dad. Like I mean, he grew up like in Indian stuff, but like a lot of the comedy like in South Indian movies, it's just like. It's like, okay, you kind of just like stated like a fact. It's not really funny, but it's just more of a fact. But definitely like when I'm watching like North Indian movies like Doom and stuff, like I definitely find like a lot more funnier stuff in that.
Yeah. There's like that, and there's also like if you want a good recommendation for like a TV show, it's very real. It's very, very like
like, I'm interested for sure.
Yeah. It's not comedy or anything. It's called Sacred Games.
Yeah.
On Netflix. Dude, oh my god. That might be the greatest Indian TV show I've ever watched in my life.
What is it like? What is it about?
So it's about mafia in Mumbai and just the drug world. Because a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think India is safe. Like a lot of people in America are like, oh, India is a safe place.
It's not.
It is not. Yeah. India is not. Like if you go there, bro, you will experience a world way different than what you expect.
And that's why you guys should travel. That's why I love traveling.
Exactly. I only speak about India because I know, right? I don't ever want to speak about some place that I don't know about. Because I would give a false representation.
Yeah. Like I'll take back my last statement. Like I don't hate Bollywood movies. They're just like I like a very few certain of them, especially like in the like South Indian versions.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like quite a bit more or like very similar within storyline. And for me, like since I love filmmaking and I love directing, like I like there's also like some movies that I've seen like in South India too where they just like take like a storyline that was like already made like an American version. Yeah, like there's like this like it was like the Stars Among Us or something like that. It was like one of like the novels like where the girl had like leukemia or something. Yeah, like legit. There's like an Indian movie that copied the entire storyline. Yeah. So that's like I think that's one of the biggest things is like they're not as creative as like American movies. I feel like in my opinion. Yeah. But I mean, there's definitely like a lot of movies that I do like North Indian movies like Doom, and there's also like some in like South India like Singham and like if I don't know if you know what that is.
Singham is South India?
I think they have both the North Indian and South Indian version. Yeah, South Indian. It's like, more like a police cop, and like also he deals like with like the drug run and everything like that. Yeah. And also like Bahubali, but I'm pretty sure it's both in Hindi and Tamil too. But yeah, like a lot of those movies where it has like a good storyline, like I'll for sure enjoy. Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah. It's just my gripes with it is just not being as creative as like American movies and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like from what I've talked to people about, they take it too seriously. Like they go into the movie expecting it to be a lot more like serious or comedic than it is, right? Like I don't want to go into a movie with the aspect of okay, let me go into this expecting this,
like,
this, and
this.
this.
Like expecting like comedy, but like in reality, it's like an actual like serious situation.
Exactly. I want to be caught off guard.
Yeah, 100%. I get that. Yeah, for sure.
Like I just want to, because I'm not a movie critic.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about cinematography or anything to be a movie critic.
I mean, like anytime I like go watch a movie, I mean, I generally like watch a trailer just to see what it is about before I watch it, just to get like an understanding of like what it's gonna be about. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just like my point of view. But I know other people like love Bollywood movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like people can have their own opinions.
Dude, I love watching just because it's entertainment, bro.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Entertainment is entertainment.
Yeah,
you gotta just
you gotta
not
find
take
something
it too
that you
serious.
Love. Yeah, that's true.
Go in expecting to be light.
Yeah,
for comedies especially.
Yeah, I mean also the classic like Three Idiots. It's amazing.
Dude, Three Idiots might be one of the greatest movies.
For sure.
But yeah. Every time you ask any Indian person outside of America, like, oh, you watch Bollywood, can you name a movie? I guarantee you
Three Idiots. It's gotta be that.
They're just gonna say Three Idiots. Just
That's
because
for sure.
of like, for some reason, Indians outside of India relate to Three Idiots so much.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like it kind of like goes against just to show like how strict like colleges are, especially with like the stress and the anxiety, because I'm pretty sure there's even like a suicide in that movie too.
Attempted
suicide. So no, and I think there's actual
there was yeah.
So it really does go to show like how much more stricter it is in India compared to like a lot of places here in America.
100%.
A lot of people here think like, oh my god, the education system is like terrible and like it's super strict. There's not like a lot of like freaking. Trust me, like if you compare it to so many different cultures, like it's a completely different story. And I'm sure like like in other Asian environments, like Chinese, Japanese schools as well, it's much more strict there as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's also just because like in America, the American culture, the way we're kind of shaped is it's okay to be good at sports versus bad at studying, right? Like it's accepted by society. It might not necessarily be accepted by your society, but in general, it's accepted. In India, you have to, or like not necessarily specific to India, but in a lot of Asian cultures, right? Education is prioritized and valued so much that you can't have anything without it. Yeah. That's why like a lot of the people that I see, a lot of people that I talk to in India, they're so book smart, right? They know everything when it comes to a book. Yeah. When it comes to athletics or stuff like that, of course they know about it, right? But they're not they just weren't given the opportunity to go out and play.
Yeah, right. And also, I do feel like it's like a crutch as well, especially like when it comes to a social environment too. Because if you're spending all the time like studying books and like being book smart technically, you're not gonna have that like social environment to like actually go out, talk to people, and like having that interaction that you should.
Yeah. Dude. Honestly, just communication skills should be valued by every culture. Yeah. Like every culture should teach their young boys and girls to be able to communicate, to value communication, because you can be as book smart as you want,
but it's not going to help you out. Like,
exactly. What are you going to do with all that knowledge if you can't tell it to someone?
Exactly. Right. Because even like when you're looking for jobs too, they're not just looking that you're information smart. Like they want to make sure that you can get along with people. Because in a lot of places, like you have to work with others.
Exactly. Yeah. And more than just like smart, they want to see that you're different. Do something to make yourself different.
Gotta do it different. Stand out of the crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's where culture comes in.
Yeah.
And okay, how important do you think religion is?
Like
to you specifically.
Like which part of like the culture or like
no, just religion.
Like praying.
We'll go with both.
Both. Let's see. Okay, I'll say for like the praying part. Well, wait. Let me ask you a question first before I answer yours. Like, do you think that parents should like enforce their like religion on you? Like for example, like Hinduism, or if it's like a different culture. Like, do you think that they should like enforce it on you, or like what do you think?
So is your question basically like, should they give you an option first?
Because I feel like especially like in like our culture, I feel like they kind of just like make you like be like Hindu. Yeah. I feel like they don't give you like that option, like, hey, like you can go out there and choose. But it also depends on like the family as well, because if the family is more understanding and more caring, like they'll be more optimistic about the situation and let you choose. But I mean, there's also a lot of Asian families especially that want you to pretty much follow in their footsteps, really.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Hinduism specifically, because I've read the whole religious texts and sacred texts and everything. Yeah. So Hinduism is a religion you can't convert into. Yeah. Because of the caste system, which was very wrong. I do not agree with that. Yeah. But Hinduism is not a religion that you can convert into. You're born into it, right? Yeah. You're born into that specific caste or family or whatever. That's why a lot of Hindu families enforce it on their children. Is what I just think, right? Because you can't, once you're out, you can't come back. You can't convert into it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be like hardcore into the like religion and like the prayers and stuff, then in like most cases, like you can't really get back into it. But I don't know, but it's such a hard thing to talk about because there's like so many different like point of views that you can bring it up.
100%. Because like so I'm not extremely religious, like.
It's the same thing for me. Like, I mean, definitely, like, within my household, my mom is, like, for sure the most religious out of all of us.
Yeah.
At least my brother is, like, a bit more religious than me and my dad. I feel like me and my dad are, like, not the most, like, when it comes to, like, praying and stuff. But, I mean, like, we still do it for sure. We still pray and everything.
I'm not, like, here's my thing. I'm very into my religion. Like, I believe in my God and everything, right? I believe that there's a holy power or whatever, right? I'm just not... I don't want to be told how to look at my God.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't want to be told how to, live my life based on this, right?
Yeah.
Because the way I look at it, if there is a God watching, right? They're going to watch you, right? They're watching you. They're not... Why would anyone care if you can follow directions?
Yeah.
Right?
100%, I get that.
Like, they care if you, by yourself, make right choices. If you, by yourself, do good. Who's going to care if you're... Like, that doesn't prove anything if you do good just by following directions.
Yeah. Right. And something I want to talk about as well, especially when it comes to religion, is a conversation me and my mom had, like, recently. It was kind of a bit more about like destiny. Like, do you believe in destiny or do you like make your own path to like where you want to go? Because I mean, like in my mom's opinion, like she believes in the fact that like God has already like prepared like your future for you and like there's no changing it. But in my opinion, like for me, I'm like no, it's kind of like what you do to get there. Like it's not necessarily already there for you because. Like, for example, let's say, like, maybe God had in store for you to be, like, a murderer, right?
Yeah.
But maybe, like, let's say you already knew that. And, like, you try to do, like, whatever you could to not be a murderer. Like, you try to help, people, try to be a good person. But at the end of the day, like, are you going to be a murderer is my, thing. So, like, what do you think about that?
So, this isn't really, like, I'm not representing my culture or anything. Yeah. This is my personal belief.
Yeah.
My personal belief is that anything you do, the end result of your life is death. You can't live forever.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't escape death. That's for sure. Yeah.
Death is your final destination. How you get there is your choice.
Yeah. Okay.
No one's gonna. Actually, not no one, but you are the only one that's taking that path.
Yeah.
Right. You're walking that step.
Yeah.
No one else is taking that step for you. What you want to do with that step, whether you want to go front, backwards, sideways, whatever, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, you're approaching the same destination as everyone else.
Yeah. Okay. I get that, yeah.
So, like, it's... My thing is, if you want to talk about, like, the whole God's destiny and everything, God destined everyone just to approach death.
Yeah.
How you get there, what you do in the meantime, that's no one can take that from you.
I mean, that's definitely like my point. Like, I definitely do agree. Like, your final place is death. Like, there's you can't change it. There's no like immortality or anything like that. But, like at least in my opinion as well, same with yours. Like, it's what we do before that time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Do you believe in karma?
I do. I actually do believe in karma.
So what I've learned is karma is practiced by a lot of religions. They just don't call it karma.
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
So the idea of karma, for if you guys that don't know, it's what goes around comes around, right? If you do good things will happen.
And also it's kind of like the golden rule, I would say. Like, you want to treat others the way you want to be treated. Or like the platinum rule, like you want to treat others the way they want to be treated. I don't know.
Okay, I don't agree with the golden rule.
You don't?
I don't. I think the golden rule is
Or what about the platinum rule? Like you treat others the way they want to be treated.
I don't agree with that either.
You know, like no. What's your thought on it?
So, I think the golden rule is impractical.
Okay.
Because do you treat Donald Trump the way you treat Joe Biden?
No.
No, right?
Yeah.
No. Do you treat Donald Trump the way Donald Trump treats you?
I can't imagine that because I don't know if I'd ever meet him. But
okay, all right.
I would assume no.
Yeah. Do you treat your mom the same way your mom treats you?
No.
No, right? You can't treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right? So what I say is treat everyone with respect until they give you a reason not to.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's not that hard to practice. Yeah. You know, if you like, there's no problem treating people with respect. You know, if you want to be gangster or whatever, you want to be thug. You know, I know plenty of thugs that will treat you with respect. That is no problem. You don't know how important respect is in any community. Give people respect until they give you a reason not to. Because, I mean, what's so hard about that? Like, it's not hard to follow. You know, it's very clear. It's very cut. You know, if someone does wrong, take the respect away.
I feel like that's like the world we're living in now, right? Like, it's kind of like, you know, like, because I feel like one of the biggest, like, kind of like a crutch for us is, like, judging people.
Yeah.
I think if we could take away, like pride in judging people,
yeah,
I feel like that would just completely change the world, honestly.
But that's never going to happen.
I know, but, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, like, a point of view, if it were to happen. Like, it can definitely change, like, a lot of stuff. And then, like, you know, things like the platinum rule, golden rule can somewhat apply. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, like, definitely, like, in the real world, especially once you know, become, like, an adult, understand, like, what's happening around us. Like, yeah, like, what you said, I forgot what you said, but, like what you meant is correct, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, that kind of goes into, like, what do you believe as a person, right? Because when you're brought up, you know, every person is brought up in a specific culture, right? Whether you choose it or not, you're brought up in a specific culture. In that culture, you're told what's right, what's wrong, according to your culture, right? Do you think it's important to show kids what's right, what's wrong, or should the world... Actually, the world can't ever have a set answer to what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the version of, like, yin and yang. There's always going to be good and there's always going to be bad.
Yeah.
Like, there's no changing that.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus, everyone has the different definition of yin and yang, right? So, like, okay, let's be real. We live in the United States, right?
Yeah.
But when have you ever seen the United States be united?
Not once.
Exactly.
I mean, like, there's small parts of it that can get united, but as it's, like, the entire country, like, probably not. No.
Exactly. Yeah. There's the word united.
Yeah. I mean, and also, like, for example, Democrats and, like, Republicans, like, two different things. Like, it's not united.
The word united is a hoax, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's no such thing as unity.
You know, and also, like, especially, like, again, I wanted to get into this conversation too, and it's, like, one of the books that I read in my history course, which is The Jungle by Upton Sinclair, and he kind of goes more into, like, capitalism and socialism, and just, like, showing, like, the American dream is completely fake. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no, like, oh, you're gonna, like, live in a house, white picket fence, 2.5 kids,
yeah,
whatever that is. But, like, no, like, it's like a real struggle, especially for, like, immigrants who are coming here and, like, trying to make, like, an actual living, you know, instead of, like, trying to live there, like, in whatever country they came from. And especially, like, for those who work, like, in factories, farmers, like, they don't get, like, the respect or, like, the, you know, like, they just don't get the same respect as, like, a lot of other people. Like, they get treated poorly, and also, like, low paying jobs, you know, terrible working hours and stuff, and it's just like a completely, like, terrible experience when it comes to that.
Yeah. I can agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Like, let's say you ran for president, right?
Okay.
Like, what would you try to do if you could, like, make it a better situation for those types of people?
Education.
Okay. Yeah.
I think every single person in an underprivileged area needs education. I think they need to be given education so that they can learn to make decisions, man.
Yeah, 100%.
They need to... because it's not fair to, educate a specific amount of people and not educate the rest.
Yeah.
You can't ever hope for a better tomorrow if you don't educate people what is going on today.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and this is going on with, like, the whole Black Lives Matter thing, right? Like, it's not okay to prejudice someone, to, put that much hate on someone that you literally take their life.
Yeah.
You can't claim to... That just shows how fake of a reality we live in, right? We live... Okay, and I talked about this in my book, which is also in the last podcast.
Make sure to go check it out. Link in the description.
But yeah, so... every single day in elementary school all the way through high school, we learn the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Right? So in the Pledge of Allegiance, you hear with liberty and justice for all, right? How many people actually get to experience that?
Not a lot of people. Almost no one.
Exactly. So why would you teach your children lies?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it gives them, like, a sense of hope, but then, like, once they actually understand... Huh?
Isn't that a false hope?
Yeah, it is a false hope. Because, like, especially, like, once you become, like, into high school, you see the real world. It's completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah. And obviously, like, with Kaepernick, like, not, doing the Pledge of Allegiance, like, it shows
that was for the, that wasn't for the pledge.
Oh, no, well, for the national anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, it's similar in a way. Because it's still, like, saying, like, we're all united. But in reality, it's not that at all.
Yeah. Okay. All right, this might be controversial, but
what's up? Hit me with it.
In America, who do you think are Indians' worst enemies? Dude, I'm not gonna lie. This is, like, I apologize if ahead of time if
I mean, hey, it's a podcast. If we're real about this, it's not like a fake thing.
Yeah. Dude, in America, I've seen so many Indians be backstabbed by Indians.
Yeah, I see that too.
Like, our worst enemy is ourselves.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
I get you.
And, like, I genuinely don't agree with.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I take back my last statement. I for sure agree with Sankalp. Now that I think about it, because I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's kind of the case in a lot of religions, like in
a lot of cultures. Yeah.
It's just ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Like. Yeah. Why, right? That's your people. You shouldn't be.
And again,
teaching.
like, and like, as I said, like, if we can live, like, in an almost perfect world, like, taking away, like, our ego, our pride, and, like, judging people, if we can take, like, those 2 to 3 things, like, it's gonna be so much of a better place for all of us.
Yeah, but, like,
obviously in reality,
there's no way that's gonna happen. We're just not. Humans aren't built like that, dude.
Yeah.
But it's so sad to see, right? Like, I've seen so many kids get, and this starts out with comparisons, right? When you start comparing your kids in front of their face to other people's kids, that's going to build a certain amount of hate in your heart about that other kid, right? You're going to grow up thinking, all right, I hate this kid. Everyone's always saying he's perfect, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's going to cause you eventually to want to, that might even push you to backstab this kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't be doing that to our own culture.
All right, I have a little bit of a story. It's probably, like, one thing, like, I really regret, and the person that it happened to also, he understands that, like, that I regret it as well. But he's also a fellow, like, Indian as well. Like, he's a good friend of mine too. Like, we went, like, elementary school, middle school, and high school. But in middle school, like, especially, like, now with, like, Navaratri and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, like, he, like, goes to, like, a lot of, like, Navaratris, like, parties and stuff, like, going to see other people.
Yeah.
And, like, whenever I ask him about, like, the religion, like, hey, like, do you know why you're going to Navaratri? Like, do you know, like, the reason behind it? He's like, oh, I don't know. I just go there just to, eat food and stuff. And, like, for me, like, back in middle school, like, it pissed me off so much. Like, especially someone who's Hindu who, like, doesn't, like, understand, like, the gods and stuff. So what I did, I honestly regret it so much, but I created, like, a book of just, like it was like an exam, like a test of just like of different gods, like what they do. I felt so bad, and like I've told them so many times, like in high school too. Like, dude, I feel so bad that I did that to you. But I don't know. I was just like back in middle school. I was so like mad at that. Like just like people that like were like in a religion but didn't understand like the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
But then like over time, I'm like, you know, they're just people. It doesn't really matter now.
Dude, I can agree with that. Like, because when you're younger, you question a lot of these things, right? You're like, why would you support that? Why would you claim that if you're not actually, if you don't know about it? Right?
No, but also like when it comes to that type of like logic and reasoning, it also depends like the place that you're in. Because I feel like when you're in, like for example, India, right? Like how it's like a narrow-minded, like it's not you know, diverse like with other cultures. Like, I feel like it's like, oh, okay, I understand, like, why you're praying to that God. Or, like, oh, I understand, like, why we do this. Because everyone else does it in that area. Because you guys are, like, all brought up, like, in a very similar way. So everyone has, like, that same understanding of, like, how the way the world works.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like for people that have that reasoning to be like, oh, like, why do we do this? Is for people, like, who live in places like America where it's much more diverse with other, you know, cultures and other people.
I agree with that, definitely. Like going back to your story, kind of like to question why you support that without actually knowing too much about it. Like I've definitely been in that situation before. Like I've questioned like why would you ever support it if you don't know? Like, you know, if you're doing something, at least learn about it.
Yeah.
Right. Because otherwise it's not even about you at that point. You're disrespecting that culture. In case anyone ever does ask you. Like you asked that person, right?
Yeah.
In case anyone ever asks you, you don't want to disrespect that culture.
And also, like, I felt way more bad, too, because, like, he actually, he was born in India. He was, like, I think he lived there for, like, 3 to 4 years, and then he moved to America after that.
Oh, my God.
But, I mean, we're still, like, great friends and stuff, so, yeah, it's all good now.
That's cool, though. Yeah. No, but, yeah. Like, it's so weird to think that we've all come to this. Most of us are immigrant. Like our parents are immigrants, right?
Yeah.
But they came all the way out here, and a lot of them don't support each other. A lot of them, you know, will talk so much trash about one another.
Dude, like another stereotype is like you're at a party, right? Like once the families are like leaving the house, they go into their cars, people are just like trash talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally in front of like the front door while they're saying goodbye. Like even like when I see like some of my parents doing it, I'm like, why are you doing that? Like you just had a conversation with them, now you're gonna like trash talk behind their back.
Yeah,
like,
dude, that's what I'm saying. In the United States, Indians are Indians' best friends, but Indians are also Indians' worst enemies.
Yeah.
Like, and that it shouldn't be like that.
But it also like depends on like how they grew up as well. Like if they grew up like in a household where there's like a better understanding of one another, like I feel like they're gonna be more open and like be a bit more real with you. And you know, like compared to people that are more, you know, secluded, not, you know, introduced to different cultures, I feel like they're just gonna like continue being like, you know, narrow minded of like how the way the world works.
When you grow up being taught that something is right, you know, obviously you're gonna think it's right.
Yeah.
Until like you don't have a reason to question whether it's right or wrong. So I definitely think we shouldn't teach, you know, our own people to hate our people.
Yeah.
Because we're all we got.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just like I in a perfect world, everyone would be united. But that can't happen.
Yeah.
It's impossible to do. Because we can't even unite our own people.
Yeah, I mean, we have like all these movements with like the Black Lives Matters and stuff like that, but I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't think we can ever like truly be like united until people are like actually educated about it.
It's because a lot of people don't want to see the other problem. They want okay, so what I do a lot is I go on like Facebook. And I'll go on like a post by NBA talking about Black Lives Matter or something like that, right? And in the comments, and this happens a lot on Facebook.
Like this is everything. And also like we can go more into like social media too.
Yeah. So like in the comments on Facebook, you'll see like these people, I don't want to put a name on them, but they're like very anti Black Lives Matter, right? And they make that very clear in their comments, right? And then I go and I check out their profile. the type of stuff that they like post on Facebook, it's like it shows they think they're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta be willing to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
100%. Yeah.
If you can't put yourself in someone else's shoes, you shouldn't talk.
Yeah. I mean, definitely don't be like, oh, like I can completely understand what you're going through, because you'll never truly understand.
Of course not. Yeah. But you should try and put yourself in a situation
like if it were to happen to like your family, for example.
Exactly. Like, yeah. What would you want in that specific situation? Like I say, a lot of people they're like, oh, a white kid was just shot. Why don't people protest about him? Well, why aren't you protesting about him?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like no one's stopping you. This is the United States of America. You have the right to protest.
Exactly.
You know, what's stopping you from protesting?
Yeah.
Because nothing stopped you from going on Instagram or Facebook and commenting about protesting about that kid.
Yeah.
So what's stopping you from getting on your feet and doing that?
Exactly.
Like you can't hate on another movement for protesting about someone's life when you're not willing to do it yourself.
Yeah, dude, I swear, you're like the master when it comes to quotes. You do such a good job for that. Yeah. I know, like I understand, I like agree with that for sure. Like you have to find an understanding. Like there has to be like that question in people's minds. Yeah. And also that like comes from like, you know, the imagination with like a lot of people. Yeah. Like being creative and like being like more imaginative of like other people and like other cultures definitely opens up your mind. And also another reason why I love filmmaking and directing, it's like you can't make a good film until like you actually understand other people's cultures and like what other people are going through. Because like until you actually like see what other people are going through is like the time when you can make like an actual film, like a really good film. The sun is like blaring into my eyes. Yeah, guys, we're filming like I don't know, like 8-7 in the morning.
Yeah, so the sun is coming right into Anish's eyes.
Yeah. One thing SANKALP and I were talking about a couple of days ago, since we were practicing for this podcast, we were talking about cancel culture for those who don't know yet. Culture. Yeah, for me. I was telling him about the story for those who don't know, Logan Paul. He's a Vine star YouTuber, like a social media influencer. And with him, like he had a story of going to, you know, a forest in Japan and witnessing someone commit suicide. Like, and the thing with him is that it's also another thing, like it relates back to culture. Because like when you grow up in like a certain household, like you have like certain views on things. So the way he grew up was like when someone in your family like passes away, like you shouldn't necessarily be like that sad about it. Like you should, you know, like at least just remember the positive things that the person's done in their life instead of focusing on like, oh, the person's gone, like I can't do anything without them, but to focus on like the positive things. So when people saw that like he wasn't like, you know, like sad about it or like, you know, he wasn't like crying or whatever, people were just like hating on him for that, like being like yo, like why are you acting like that? But again, it just like depends on the way people were brought up. So in my opinion, I don't think he should have been like quote unquote canceled, but obviously like now he's back, he's doing his own podcast, things like that, so now he's good. But I don't know, for me I was pretty upset with that people were acting like that.
So I feel like with that situation specifically to that situation, he's an influencer, right? He's a YouTube creator. It's a digital creator, isn't that the term?
Yeah, like online creator.
Online creator. Video creator. So he has the option to post what he wants.
Yeah, you know, right? and also like I agree with you. Like there are some certain parts of it which like 100% I do agree with other people that, you know, he should have like taken responsibility into his own hands and like take it off of his, you know, video. But like in his view, like he wants to make his videos be real. Like he doesn't want to take out any of like the fake stuff that happens. Like he wants his viewers to to see what he's going through in his life. So in like a certain point of view, like I can get why he put it in, but in most people's views for like privacy and like protection for the other person's family, like I 100% agree that, you know, he shouldn't have done that. But
like it's like death is a very important and like serious thing, right? Yeah. So when it comes to your specific family, right, you can do what you want about that specific death, right? But because it wasn't a member of his family, it wasn't like one of his friends, right? You know, there's no need to necessarily put that into your video that you're posting online for views.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
Right? You know, I still don't know what the video was about. Like I'm completely out of the loop.
Yeah.
But like just hearing from what you said, you shouldn't put someone who you don't know. You shouldn't put their death into your video for views.
Yeah, and that's why I agree that like he should have taken responsibility for that.
Like I don't necessarily completely agree with cancel culture just because I think you should teach someone, you should educate someone.
Like again, like instead of like hating on someone for what they did, just like tell them like, hey, like what you did was wrong, but like tell them like what they did and like also educate them of like what to do better next time so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and I mean if they don't listen, if they continue to disagree, if they continue to do stuff like that, then of course you can cancel them.
Yeah.
Then it's no problem. Huh?
Trump.
Exactly. Like he deserves it. Yeah. But you shouldn't just off the bat, from what I believe, you shouldn't off the bat cancel someone.
Yeah.
You should educate them, give them a reason, explain to them what they did wrong, give them a reason to, a chance to see whether they actually learned or not.
Yeah.
Right? And then if they didn't learn, then you do whatever you want with them. But make sure that you at least educate them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with social media, like I feel either it goes like one of two ways. Like either you follow like a lot of positive, people on social media, like influencers or friends and stuff, or you get caught into like the negative cycle, the drama, things that don't necessarily like matter in your life. You either get caught up into that. So it's like, and it's also like another thing with a lot of kids growing up nowadays, like they kind of have to get into like, or they don't necessarily have to get, but they slowly start to get into the social media lifestyle, like middle schoolers. Yeah. And it's kind of like the point where you have to kind of choose like what person or like what type of interest like interested you really.
No, I can agree with that. Because social media plays such a big role in the modern day. Like, you can literally lose your job over social media. Yeah. You can get a job.
Yeah, I mean, people have like lost scholarships over things because they're hating on other cultures or stuff.
Yeah. So like you have to be smart.
Yeah.
That's like the one tip. And also, don't be dumb.
Yeah, and also like okay, if you're gonna go out there and like cancel someone, like you gotta make sure that you've like never done anything wrong in your life. Like
100%.
Yeah, if you're gonna put like hate on someone, like you have to be like either the most perfect person, like otherwise like you just can't do that.
Yeah. It's like just okay. All right. I don't know what like don't put unnecessary hate on people that don't deserve it. Like there's no need to. The world is already bad. There's so much bad in this world.
Yeah.
Why are you contributing to creating more bad?
Yeah.
Like, do your part. Don't necessarily be a bad person because okay, that didn't make sense. But if you want a better tomorrow, you can't get a better tomorrow by not educating.
Yeah, or like causing drama.
Or causing drama, exactly. Yeah. How are you going to want a better future when you're contributing to a bad today as it is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna work out.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't do that. You can't. Okay, the biggest and most important thing is education.
Yeah.
Whether like in any given field, you can't do something without being educated about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just 100% education and just like try like obviously if you guys like as you said like trying to be like in a better tomorrow, have like a better future for the next generation and further on, try to build like a positive community. Like that's what I try to do with my YouTube channel, my social media platform.
100%.
And just like making people more aware. Yeah.
Yeah. Like women's equality is such an important aspect, right?
Yeah.
I think women need to be educated equal to men.
Yeah.
Right? In a lot of cultures around the world, they're not.
Yeah.
Women aren't given as much.
Oh my God. Okay, no. One thing, especially in my music class, because I also do Indian classical music. So my teacher's daughter, I think we had like one of the priests come to like the teacher's home to do like a prayer and stuff. And the priest asks his daughter, like, hey, like, what do you want to do in the future? Do you want to be an engineer, doctor, or lawyer? Like, he literally gave those 3 options. That's it. And, like, when I heard that, I got so pissed. Because I'm like, there's so many other things you can do. Like, exactly. You can be an artist, director, like, music producer, public relations. Like, there's so many different things.
Dude, there's... that goes back to culture. Like, we're not... Like, I'm not going to tell a lie here. The Indian culture does not give as much value or importance to women as they should.
Yeah, and also, like, it shows, like, especially, for example, like, when we were talking about, like, Bollywood movies, like, The Three Idiots. I remember there's, like, this one scene where, like a guy made, like, a drone, right? He made a drone, and he was, like, trying to show it to his professor. But his professor was like, oh, go just throw that in the trash. Like, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, being book smart, I feel like it also takes away a lot of that creativeness that we have within ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like, that, like, coming back to the culture part, you have to, if you want a better tomorrow, you have to be willing to educate everyone equally. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to value even everyone equally. Yeah. You can't value a girl less than a boy. Yeah. I don't know why cultures do that. Like, there's no importance in it. Yeah. There's, like, what do you get from putting women down and bringing men up? Yeah. Like, you don't achieve anything.
Yeah. I mean, people want more power, I guess, over, like, another gender. But, like, in reality, like, you're just going to be hurting more and more people, and it's not going to make it better tomorrow.
Exactly. Like, that doesn't make you more of a man.
Like, there's zero benefits.
Yeah. Like, that doesn't make you more of a man. Yeah. If you put your...
It just makes you a bully and, like, you know, kind of like an evil person in general.
Okay, this is the thing. Bullying does not make you more of a man. Yeah. Being mean to someone doesn't make you more of a man. Oh, yeah. Like, being a man is being able to support the people who need support. Yeah. Being a woman is being able to support.
And to, like, let go of that ego and, like, just try to help out, like, another person.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, what do you have to lose?
Yeah. I mean, unless they got, like, a gun or something. I don't know. But
no, even still, like, what do you have to lose by helping someone out?
I mean, nothing really.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you have to gain? There's so much to gain.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're making a new friend. Like, if you're helping someone on the street.
Friend, you possibly could be changing someone's life.
Yeah. And you're also making your life for the better as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Even if you're a selfish human being, help someone out because it makes you feel good.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you think about it. Yeah. Even if you're selfish, you can still be a good person because you're doing good for someone else. Yeah. Right? Like, instead of incorporating all these thoughts into negative energies, incorporate that into positivity. And contribute. Don't do something with your life. Don't just be there to bully people.
Because even like sometimes when I've traveled to India too, like when you go to like the small shops like that have food and stuff, like sometimes people may not have the money, but they'll still cook for you because like they still care about you. They like they want you to be positive and have a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So even just like that small of a thing, just to like give someone like food or help someone out with like paying for something, like it really helps them out.
Dude,
in a lot of ways.
There's if you're just walking down the street and you see someone with like a nice outfit on and you tell them that you look good. I like your outfit, you know, that person is going to remember that for the rest of the day. I guarantee you. That person's going to remember. Like, this person has nothing, like they have no connection to me. Yeah. But they still went out of their way, right, to compliment me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, you're going to remember that.
Yeah, and then hopefully they'll put that on to someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah. Human kindness.
Yeah, dude, it's not that hard. Being kind to someone is not that hard. I don't get what people find so hard about it. Mm. Yeah. Like, being mean to people also isn't that hard. Yeah. And if you can
But I feel like those for people that like are mean and like bullying, I feel like they're just putting like whatever they're struggling with their lives onto other people. So maybe if they're not having like a great of a day or something in their family happen to them, then they just like want to put their anger and their frustration onto someone else.
I understand that, but what good is that gonna do?
Yeah, it's not gonna do any good.
Like, does that make you feel better as a person?
Like, it's not gonna make you feel better at all.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, that doesn't solve your problem. If you're getting hate from a specific person and you take that hate and put that hate onto someone else, what good are you doing?
Yeah, but also like again, like, since we don't live in a perfect world, like there's still gonna be bullies out there. I don't think that can't change. But what can change is like the way how we view it, right? So instead of like taking on that hate and like whatever they're saying, like make believe that that's what's happening in your life, just like while like someone's bullying you or making fun of you, just like try to understand like what's happening in their life. Maybe they're not having a great of a day, and maybe you can compliment like the bully, right? And like that they might feel better. They're like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't be doing that.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very frank. I've faced a lot of hate. Like, I've seen
for sure.
a
Like
lot
me
of
as
people
well.
have said stuff. A lot of people have done stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like even at the point of
like
racism.
you know, I've been called fat. Like like people make fun of me because I like anime and stuff. But
Exactly.
yeah.
Like, we face a lot of hate. What's different is that we know what hate feels like, right? Yeah. When you know what hate feels like, it's a bad feeling. You know, you don't like it. But also,
like, you gain a lot of knowledge from it as well.
No, I understand that. But, like, do you like being hated against?
Well, no.
Yeah,
obviously not.
Exactly. You don't, right?
Yeah.
So, you don't like that feeling. So, why would you make someone else feel that?
Exactly. Like, just, don't do that.
Exactly. You can't... Making someone else feel like crap doesn't make the hate on you stop. Right? If people are gonna hate on you, people are gonna hate on you.
Yeah.
There's no, like, you can't do anything. People find the smallest reasons to hate on you.
Yeah.
Right? Doing that same, like, you can't hate someone for hating on you, but then continue to hate.
Yeah.
Like, what does that make you?
Exactly. Yeah. It just doesn't solve anything at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like, alright, okay. If someone bullies you, that doesn't make it okay to continue to bully someone else.
Yeah.
Right? Just try to find a comfort. You know, instead of being really mean to someone, be nice to someone, and who knows, maybe they'll support you with your bully.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, when you get bullied, you're basically knocked down. Like, you're on the ground. Why would you push someone's hand away from you when you can use that hand to pull yourself up?
Damn, bro, that's deep. I swear, like, either, like, are you making these quotes?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Dude, I swear, like, all right, you know what? For those who are watching, like, write down these quotes and then make sure to give credit to Sankalp. So this guy, I swear, he's the master of quotes.
I am, bro.
Yeah.
I'm eventually going to run for president.
Facts, dude. Well, like 20, 30, 40. Like
maybe in the 20, like, 60s when I'm 60s, old enough.
Yeah. I mean, probably like, what, like 40, 50 years old?
Yeah.
Like yeah. I get that.
Dude, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty. I think, we're at an hour right now? So let's end off the video portion, then we can get into the audio portion.
Let's do it.
Yeah, alright. So for those who are watching, thanks for watching. And if you guys want to listen to the extra audio portion, make sure to head over to our Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, whatever it is, and check it out there, because we're definitely going to dive more into other subjects. So, yeah, see ya. Peace.